You're listening to Satellite Sisters.
What's a satellite sister?
The person you call when the best thing in your life happens or the worst.
The person that gets you up, gets you going, and gets you through.
And every once in a while, changes your mind.
This podcast is part pep talk, part weekly check-in.
Like grabbing coffee with a friend.
Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Satellite Sisterhood.
You're listening to Satellite Sisters. Thanks for being here today. I'm Lian Dolan in Pasadena, California. I'm a writer, producer, and happy to be on Satellite Sisters for what I believe is the start of season 24. Liz?
Well, this is Liz Dolan in Santa Monica. I know that it's a season premiere, Lian. That's what I know for sure. This is our season premiere. I thought it was season 23, but you're the producer, so I'm going with whatever you tell me to do. Julie, what do you think?
Hi, this is Jullie Dolan in Dallas, Texas. I'm going to go with whatever makes us seem younger as the answer. So could we just do that and just be, I have to say, I'm giddy. I'm giddy today about that. It is our season premiere. And I have been waiting the entire hiatus to talk about what I consider one of the big news stories of the summer. And that obviously involves Peggy Jones of Silsbee, Texas, which is right outside of Houston. Okay, sisters, I don't know if you saw this, but Peggy was outside in her backyard. She was mowing her lawn. She wanted a little peace and quiet, just went out to mow her lawn, okay? When all of a sudden, out of the sky, a 4-foot snake fell and wrapped around her arm, okay?
Oh.
Yes,
my gosh.
Yes, Lian. Yes. Peggy has a 4-foot snake around her arm. Peggy is screaming. But Liz and Lian, you know what is worse than having a snake fall out of the sky and wrap
I can't imagine.
Well, I'll tell you what's worse. The hawk that dropped the snake that landed on Peggy's arm, the hawk decides it wants its snake back. So it comes and attacks Peggy's arm, okay?
Oh,
it is hacking, it is clawing, and in the meantime, the snake is doing snake stuff, very much alive. Peggy ends up with snake venom on her glasses, okay? Okay, 4 times the hawk dive bombs to get the snake. Peggy is screaming, she's yelling, "Help me, Jesus, help me, Jesus."
Yeah.
Okay. Somehow, the hawk gets the snake and flies away. Wow.
I can't.
You did not hear this story? Oh my God. I can't.
It seems very Texas, Julie. Very.
No. This could happen anywhere. That's the moral of this story. A day has not gone by that I don't look up in that sky and look and say, "No snakes today." Okay.
You walk around with an umbrella now, full time, just to shield you from.
Did you know you had to worry about this kind of stuff? Okay.
I did not know that. Thank you for one new thing.
I feel like if I had heard this story, I would not have decided, let's kick off the show with this entertaining story Julie's going to tell us.
Are you kidding? This is the biggest thing. And you didn't even ask, but Peggy's okay. Okay, her husband took her to the hospital. She did not get bit by the snake. She had some injuries from the hawk. Okay, it all happened very fast. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So
we just need to put it behind us then, I think.
No. You keep looking up. That's all I'm telling you.
Woo, Jewel. Well, add Peggy to the list because today we are just going to talk about all the great women of the summer. It seems like it was a summer where there was a lot of girl power. We were on vacation, but you didn't need us because there were plenty of other women filling in. So we're going to talk about that. Julie, you're here with Tuesday Trends, and they involve mushrooms. That's exciting. I mean, all the kinds of mushrooms, I believe, are your trends, correct?
Right. Mushrooms are having a very big moment, Lian. We're going to talk about it.
Fantastic. We are going to talk about a new study out on gendered ageism. Oh, ladies, you're going to want to listen to this. We're going to discuss that. And then guess what I was doing over the summer? I was doing some ancestry, some genealogy. So
really?
With our family?
That's good because we know nothing about our family on either side.
Yeah. So I have some surprising takeaways from a summer of genealogy that I'm going to share with Liz and Julie for the first time. But first of all, Liz, you just came back from a trip to Budapest. So fill us all in. What were you up to?
Okay. That is correct. I'm going to split my report in half because I was in Budapest, Hungary for the last 9 days for the World Track and Field Championships, which was super exciting. But just as Budapest as a city is really two cities, Buda and Pest, with the Danube running through the middle of it, I'm going to do this as 2 reports, Leah. I'm going to do the Buda travel report now, and then in the next segment, I'm going to do the Pest sports report. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about reasons to visit Budapest. By the way, I really loved it. Really a great city in Central Europe. Has a sort of European cafe society flair. But as I mentioned, Danube and a bunch of other really nice features. So my number one favorite thing about Budapest is it's a whole boat scene with the river, in the middle. And I happened to be there for what is St. Stephen's Day, also called Hungarian National Day. So it's Hungarian 4th of July.
Very nice.
So they do this huge fireworks show and light and sound show projected on the Buda Castle, which, as you can guess, is on the Buda side of the river. Anyway, super big day, and it's a whole boat scene. So I was thinking of you, Lian, because you have said so many times how much you want to take a Viking River cruise.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of Viking River cruise boats there. And I was looking at their website yesterday, and they have a Christmas on the Danube thing that sounds right up your alley, because I know you said you wanted to do like Christmas markets in Germany and stuff. Anyway, I think that's a good instinct. You should try that. So number 1, boats.
Okay.
Number 2, baths. It's
It's amazing, those baths, aren't they,
Yes.
Liz? Yes.
Budapest is very famous for their mineral baths. The one I went to was it's called Snegyanyanya, and it's it's like the most
Thank you.
famous.
I wrote that down, Liz. Yes. Yeah.
I have links in the show notes, but just a couple of pro tips. So there are like hot mineral baths. There's a cold pool. There's indoor, outdoor. There's all kinds, and there are literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people there at the same time. So if you're still having a little bit of COVID-y fear about crowd, this might not be your place. But my 2 tips are to go in the cool pool, which I enjoyed because it was 1,000,000 degrees out. The bathing cap required, but hotel shower cap worked fine in my case. So that hotel shower cap can work. Also, flip-flops are required. So, but I highly recommend some kind of mineral bath if you go to Budapest. And then number 3, a feature of European cities that I always enjoy are trams. European cities with easy transportation around the city, because they're very centralized. They tend to be smaller. So easy to get around the city, which was good, again, because it was 1,000,000 degrees out. So a tram ride also got a little wind in your face, which was nice. And then
these are just above ground trams cruising around town.
Yeah. They also have subway. You can do that. I didn't do that. Too many stairs.
Yeah.
And then
so seem very quaint and, seem more like involved in espionage and things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
you're in a movie.
Cold War movie. Exactly. Plus, you actually get to see the city when you're above ground. So one thing I did go to see, I wanted to mention, there's a memorial on the river called Shoes on the Danube. And it was created to honor the Jews that were massacred by a fascist Hungarian militia there during the Second World War. So they lined up the Jews and they were told to take off all of their shoes because the shoes were valuable. So the militia took the shoes and then shot all the people, and they just fell into the river. So it's a horrible story, but a beautiful memorial because it's just their shoes. They're in, I think it's brass, but shoes along the banks of the river. That was very moving. So I would, and as you're walking up and down the river, you see that. So I would definitely go back for a short visit. I recommend Budapest. There's plenty of stuff I missed, including there's some kind of Dracula museum I did not get to. And then, Lian, this is a no-go area for you, but I did have a colleague there are a lot of caves on the other side.
Side. And some goulash there. I hope you had quite a bit of paprika as well.
Anyway, if you want like a really fun long weekend and you're in that part of the world in Central Europe, highly recommend Budapest. Sports report to come later.
Do people speak a lot of English, Liz?
Yes. That is another good thing. Almost everywhere you go, everybody speaks English. So that does make it easier for sure.
Okay. All right. The photos, the shots that they would show on the coverage of the World Track and Field, they just made it look very, very glamorous, like a very beautiful city. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Okay. Excellent report. Excellent report. Well, Liz, I can report that we do not have any Hungarian relatives. All right.
Okay.
I'm sorry to disappoint. I'm sorry to disappoint. Right. So over the hiatus, I found myself over on Ancestry.com. Now, like 3 years ago, I announced on this very podcast that I was like taking up genealogy, and I signed right up for the monthly plan, and I did almost nothing. Okay. I put in.
That's what way to go, Lian. Way to go.
But continually got billed for doing almost nothing. But Liz, you said we do not know a lot about our family. Our immediate grandparents died when they were, quote, fairly young in their 50s and 60s, except for Papa, who died when he was 70, or Mom's dad. But I was not taken to the funeral because, oh, well. Apparently, I was just too young to go at age 4, but I felt like I should have been taken. But that's okay. It's neither here nor there.
I see you're over it. That's good, Lian. I'm glad you worked through your grief.
Just another thing,
Lian, you're abandoned.
Jullie.
You see this theme of abandonment. Here it is in the show opener. Thanks, Lian. Yeah, go ahead. Carry on.
So, all right. So I even had to say, like, I had to ask our brother Jim, like, what are the actual names of our grandparents again? So I had done the bare minimum. I filled out our actual grandparents' name. And then I did nothing for several years. So imagine my surprise when I got a text from our cousin Tommy in Connecticut. And he's like, hey, Lian, weren't you doing some genealogy? What do you know about our Dolan relatives? Because we don't know anything. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. We don't know anything either. So I decided to go back into the Ancestry, and the Ancestry had done the work for me. They had all of these hints like, hey, here's a birth certificate. Here's a military draft card. Here's another military draft card. Here's a marriage certificate, a death certificate. Like, they were doing the work while I was doing nothing. So it was actually very exciting. I have to say, I can see why people get hooked on genealogy, because this information comes at you. You're looking at these old documents. You can't believe, like, this is your grandfather at 17 filling out his World War I registration card. And then you start looking up what the address on the card, and you can find the houses on Zillow. You're like, oh, it's still standing. I have to say, it's pretty exciting and compelling. And then the minute you actually get back to, quote, the old country, you're like, oh my gosh, here we are. Here's where we are allegedly from. And we knew we had a lot of Irish relatives and a lot of German relatives. And I can tell you this, we have a lot of Irish relatives and a couple of German relatives.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the big lie is that our mother told us over and over again, I am not Irish. All the Irish problems are your father's fault, right? Remember?
that is true.
Right?
Why she wanted to really cling to German heritage is another whole question. But
okay. All right. So, okay, what Mom said, 100% not true. She is 1/4 German, 3/4 Irish and English.
No
She
way.
is- yes, primarily Irish and English. All right, so I won't take you through every single thing I found. I've been saving this information, though. I didn't want to tell you guys. I'll send you the link to our family tree. But the overall impression is that it is just really fun to do. And
good.
it just, when you see those first reports of the Ellis Island, and here's where they landed, and this is where they came from, it's actually thrilling. And then you get back to the old country, and it's just fantastic. So I would highly recommend it. But here are the big
Can I
surprises.
ask a question first, then, Lian?
Yeah.
Because Dolan is such an incredibly common name.
Yes.
How do you know our Dolans versus other Dolans? There must be loads of Dolans that we're not related to.
So many, Liz.
Yes,
So many
yes.
Dolans we're not related to. So many Dolans in Worcester, Massachusetts, where a family's from, that we're not related to. So you do have to be very careful, double checking and cross checking information. You can't go fast, okay, this is about the right birthday, about the right, people have vague information on like the census cards. Sometimes the census worker gets your name spelled right. Sometimes it doesn't. So you do have to kind of cross-check things. And what was the address over here? And, oh, that matches up. So that must be the same Dolan. So yeah, you have to kind of work backwards from what you actually know to what you think you might know. So you do start close to you and move back and cross-check. So it doesn't go super fast. Like, it's taken me quite a while to put together some of this stuff. And yeah, you're right. Not only that, like, the Dolan can marry, the Rourke, and there can be two Dolans and Rourkes that are not your Dolans and not your Rourkes. So,
Lian, are you going to be presenting a full report at an upcoming Thanksgiving?
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that.
Instead of showing the same old videos or slideshows, you could have a genealogy report. I think it sounds exciting.
Believe me. Okay, so here's the big takeaways. We are mostly Irish. Okay, that's on both sides of the family. We are mostly Irish. We are German, sort of. I mean, technically, our German relatives came from Prussia, not Germany. So obviously, they came from northern Germany, the Frankfurt area, which was part of Prussia at the time that they emigrated to the United States. So, which the only thing that makes me happy about that is my husband's relatives are also Prussian. So I feel like we were, meant to be together. There's something about that.
Okay.
Most of our relatives came over in the 18, like that potato famine. That was really,
that was big.
That's when everybody made their move.
Yeah. We were those people. We are short. We have a family history of being short. Like you see on those draft records, we have some incredibly short people in our family.
So you could identify with that, Lian.
I can.
Yes.
And on some of the military records, it just says, body type. It says, average, slim, stout. We are short and stout. So that's great news. That's great news.
It's better than a DNA test. Okay.
Okay. Unbelievably, we have a great granny whose name was Nellie. And you know what? I wish we had known that our whole lives. Yeah, Nellie Gannon is the name of our great-great-grandmother.
Oh, that sounds like a fictional character.
Okay.
Yes.
Does it, Liz? It sounds like an Irish heroine in a song. Nellie Gannon.
All right, Lian, you got to work that name into an upcoming book for sure.
I mean, if I have a grandmother name, I might just take Nellie, because that is cute as a grandmother name. So, but yeah, Nellie Gannon. And then the top line is this, that our relatives came to this country and they were impoverished, uneducated tinsmiths. Like, it doesn't matter what side of the family they're from. That's the state they arrived in.
Okay.
They couldn't read or write, a lot of them. They had 3rd or 4th grade educations. They all moved. They came into New York, and then they moved to either Worcester, Massachusetts, or New Haven, Connecticut. And it took generations for them to get out of jobs that were called laborers. Because you can see that from all the census reports. It tells you exactly what they did. And like they were laborers, a lot on the railroad, as we know, other places, a lot in steel mills. We had relatives that worked in the factories in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Those are the textile factories. And then eventually it's take 3 or 4 generations in when you start to see clerk. Like all of a sudden, they can add and read and write. And so
that's so interesting.
Yeah.
So, Lian?
Yeah. So I can tell you this. I don't think there are any kings, queens, prime ministers, lords of the manor.
No royal blood. You didn't know about.
How about poets and playwrights? We got any of that going on? That's more of the Irish stuff.
Yeah, it's not evident, Liz. It's not evident.
Well,
but
if they couldn't read or write, they probably were poets and playwrights.
I mean, well, that was our dad used to tell us. So we had all these.
I know
people. Okay,
I hate to say I'm busting a lot of myths, but we were. Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that. And maybe I'll dig deeper. The next level of Ancestry.com, which I don't know whether I should pay for yet because quite a bit more expensive, is to do the records. I have all the American records, access to that, but it would be to do the records in Ireland and Germany. And that's an extra fee. So I might do a family GoFundMe if you want to do that. Okay. But this is it. This was my favorite document that I found. And I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to shame anybody, but it was from our mom's side of the family. World War I, they did a census in Connecticut for potential soldiers going into World War I in 1917. They wanted to find out, what your skills were. And this relative, I mean, either he did not want to go to war or he had no skills. Okay. First of all, he put his liabilities as short and nearsighted. So there you go.
Okay.
That's great.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a lot of that in our family.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the census asks, can you do any of the following? Ride a horse? No. Handle a team? No. Drive an automobile? No. Ride a motorcycle? No. Understand telegraphy? No. Operate a wireless? No. Any experience with a steam engine? No. Experience with electrical machinery? Nope. Handle a boat, power a sail? No. Experience in simple coastwise navigation? No. Are you a good swimmer? No. I mean, what a hero that guy is.
Probably still got drafted though, right?
Nope. I think he did. I think he shot himself in the foot there. He could have aimed a little higher.
Wow.
Anyway,
It's
so
amazing
fun.
that there's that much detail that you can see individual
Yes.
documents like that. That is cool.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. I have to say, I can see why people get hooked, and I know I'm not the first person to say this. And there's a giant, hugely successful television show on PBS about finding your roots. But it was really fun. So I will share the link to you guys so you can see the tree and start to see our relatives. But
Okay.
there are a
Should
ton
we
of
just
them.
call you Nellie now?
Nellie. Nellie Dolan. That is a missed opportunity right there. All right. When we get back, we're going to acknowledge some of the women of summer. It's a great summer for the girls. And we want to say thanks. We're so happy that Jenny Kane is one of our sponsors. Julie, we wish she was one of our friends, don't we?
Well, I don't know about you, Lian, but Jenny texts me every day. I get little texts from Jenny all the time about sweaters, dresses, things on sale. She doesn't send that to you?
She's a good friend. She is your satellite sister, Jenny Kane. Jenny Kane is a California brand through and through. They have beautiful summer staples that make getting dressed easier than ever before. Minimalist and effortless. That's you, Jewel, but totally refined. That's you. You know, you enjoy flowy dresses and lightweight cotton cardigans and that elevated version of your everyday basic. Oh, Jenny is here to help. She can be your friend too. And for a limited time, Satellite Sister listeners get 15% off their first order. You're going to want to go to jennykane.com and insert the code SISTERS to get 15% off. Now, Julie, what is Jenny whispering in your text for you to stock up on?
Well, it's almost sweater weather, Lian. So Jenny's putting the word out that, their number one best-selling item, that cashmere cocoon sweater, back in stock, Lian. You might not have known that because they were sold out. They're back in stock. But if you're trying to extend summer, there's still plenty of beautiful cotton cardigans out there. I plan to be wearing a blue and white one for Labor Day weekend, Lian. That's what Jenny told me. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm jealous you're getting the text.
I know.
Talk
Well,
to my
you
friend
can
Jenny.
sign up. You can sign up too to get the Jenny Kane text.
Okay. All right. Find your forever pieces at jennykane.com. Satellite Sisters get 15% off their first order when they use the code SISTERS at checkout. That's 15% off your first order. And our friend Jenny spells her name JenniKayne. jennykane.com, promo code SISTERS. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about. Julie, we love our Osea skincare here at Satellite Sisters. I mean, it gives us the most radiant skin with clean vegan skincare and body care. Don't we love Osea?
I love it, Lian. I love that anti-aging face oil. It's just so hydrating. It smells so wonderful. I feel younger and plumper putting it on my skin all the time. And a lot of times you don't want to feel plump, but you do on your face. And I think that's good.
It's true. Nothing says refreshed more than a little plumpness, Julian. How about that Osea Ocean Eyes Serum? Because it just checks all the boxes. Brightens, smooths, depuffs. It awakens the whole eye area. And it's a roller ball. I enjoy just rolling it around my eyes.
I
It's just
know,
so
I know.
relaxing.
Okay, and please, can we not forget the Undaria algae body butter? Okay,
know.
every day, arms and legs, I put it on. Sometimes a couple of times, because I've told you my black lab likes to lick it off my legs. Okay,
Osea has been making seaweed infused products that are safe for your skin and for the planet for over 27 years. All their products are clean, vegan, cruelty free, climate neutral, powered by seaweed, and conceived in California. So you never have to choose between your values and your skin. You can spring into your most radiant skincare yet with clean vegan skincare and body care from Osea and get 10% off your first order site-wide with the code SATSisters at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping on orders over $60. Head to OseaMalibu.com, OSEA Malibu.com, OseaMalibu.com, and use code SATSisters for 10% off. Liz, Lian, and Julie back. So were you guys worried that people weren't going to have anything to do during the hiatus with us gone? They were just going to be wandering around unentertained and uninspired?
Our listeners are super loyal and they get sad.
I know, and don't you always think about them too? Yeah, I know.
do.
Yeah,
But this summer, no, we had so many women like taking the reins and doing great things and making movies and out on tour and competing in sports. So just a quick review of some of the women of summer. I mean, we don't need to say anything more about Barbie, Taylor Swift, and Beyonce. Like they were out there doing the job, entertaining the people, generating like huge, amounts of economic growth for economic growth for the towns where they appeared in. They had just an unbelievably great summer. It continues. They generated so much great social media. That is what I'm going to miss.
it was all positive. Yes, it was very good.
Yeah. Okay, Katie Ledecky. This is by request. You know we love swimmers in this family. We are swimmers. And so this summer, right as we were breaking for hiatus, Katie Ledecky, she's the most decorated individual swimmer in the world now. She has 16 individual world titles, breaking Michael Phelps's record. Katie Ledecky, hats off to you. Way to go.
Yeah, I mean, do you see some of the races where she was ahead, setting this world record by almost like half a pool? I mean, nobody's even coming close to her.
No.
She's amazing.
There are counted races that she hasn't lost in like 8 years, not a single race. I mean, it's incredible. And she's only 26. She remains super humble and just really a hero. So Katie Ledecky, hats off to you. Hey, I got to see a couple of great bands this summer. So I wanted to acknowledge the all-girl bands of BoyGenius and Haim. Fantastic shows. Happy to see them. Haim is three sisters. They're from LA. They're so much fun. If you don't know them, Haim, Haim. That's their last name. They toured with Taylor, as did Phoebe Bridgers of BoyGenius. Just a lot of fun, energizing, rock and rolling happening on stage. I loved it. So if you haven't heard of either of those bands, check out Haim and BoyGenius. All right. How about Simone Biles coming out of nowhere?
Oh my goodness.
How did she do that? I mean, that is so, to think about all the pressure she had on her to come back and to perform at that level. I just watched her floor exercise the other day. It is mind-boggling how good she is.
I follow her on social media. She's been all about her wedding and building the new house. Like, it was just secret and stealth-like. And then, bang, Simone Biles and Suni Lee also coming back. So that was just like a stunning moment. And I'm sure if you're a 16-year-old gymnast in the wings, you're like, are you kidding me, Simone Biles?
That's what I was thinking. She's so old. How is she doing that?
26. All right. A great run by the Matildas in the World Cup, the Australian World Cup team. That was just a really fantastic to watch them bring a country together. Australia and New Zealand did a great job hosting that event. And, hats off to the women of the Spanish national team. First of all, they played beautiful football. They were under a lot of controversy the whole time. And then this nonsense with the head of the federation. I mean, and now they're, again, bringing the country together. Everyone is supporting them. That's great. I mean, those poor women that they had to put up with that.
Yes. Stay noisy, Spanish national team.
Yeah. So an amazing summer for all these women and lots more, like that woman in Texas with the snake.
Peggy Jones.
Peggy Jones. We can't forget Peggy.
Please don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is quite a lineup. So now we're moving on to the sports half of my Budapest report. And I'm just going to give you some of my favorite moments. Last year, Lian, you and I both went to the World Championships or in Eugene, Oregon. We went. That was great. I had been working on that tournament for a few years, so that was exciting. This year, I was much more I was working a little, but I was mainly just having fun. But I was lucky because I got to stay in the same hotel as Team USA. So that's fun.
Nice.
That is fun, Liz.
Yeah.
I mean, you had credentials, right, Liz?
I did. I was credentialed as a team official for the United States of America, which is hilarious because I'm not any of those things. But I just asked some people who knew some people, and boom. Okay, so that was the most important thing, was to have a credential so you could get on the bus, Julie. So
transportation is always the key in those things.
Transpo is everything. So they're athletes from 200 countries, by the way. So that's a big deal. So I've organized my report into bronze, silver, and gold level awards. So bronze is really for the bus to and from the warm-up track. So I got to be on the bus with the U.S. athletes. And they take you around to the other side of the big stadium where there's the warm-up track where obviously they warm up. And so just being on the bus, I mean, track and field athletes are so great at what they do, but it's also sort of it's a low-key kind of environment. They're not quite the superstar. You're not traveling.
Are they nervous, Liz, when they're on the bus?
Julie, let me tell you this, because this I even took a picture of because I couldn't believe it. I happened to be on the bus sitting directly across from Noah Lyles when he was on the bus going for the 200-meter final, which, FYI, he won. And nobody had done the double, the 100 and the 200 for a very long time. So he's sitting across from me. He's asleep, Julie. He's about to go have the biggest race of his life. He is snoozing. Lian will know, I'll confess this. I actually surreptitiously took a picture of him napping and texted it to Lian. I'm like, can you believe this? So, okay. So Noah is napping. Sometimes people are chatting. Sometimes they're resting. On the way there, it tends to be quieter. On the way home, tends to be a little livelier. So, my favorite coming home moment. Sometimes you see athletes are getting on with like bouquets, or the coaches have bouquets because they won a medal the day before. And so they got their medal that day. And so there's just like such a good vibe on the bus. So, and also Netflix is doing a series about track and field like they did for Formula One and tennis and all. Yeah. So they're following the sprinters all this season.
Oh, okay.
Next season, you'll be able to see all of this that I'm talking about behind the scenes. But there are Netflix cameras everywhere, so you have no idea when you're on TV or whatever. Anyway, on the way home the other night, so TT Terry was a member of the 4x100 sprint team. Both last year and this year, she'll bring home the gold medal for the United States. And she's adorable and super fun. She's the one with the big, long braids, the ponytail braids. Oh, my God, she's so cute. On the bus on the way home, she's like, okay, who wants chicken wings? She's ordering chicken wings online on the way home. I couldn't believe it. By the time we got back to the hotel, she had 2 giant bags of chicken wings waiting for her at the front desk. This is the bus experience. So that was the bronze medal experience, getting to see behind the scenes. The silver medal I am giving to the young women of the mixed zone, which is what they call the media area, because it's where the athletes and media, they all mix together. And I've mentioned that I've been working for the past 4 years or so on a program called the Magic Boost, because we noticed that there were very few people in the mixed zone who were young, who were female, or who were people of color. And obviously, most of the athletes are young, female, and many of them people are color. So we trained 31 boosters over the last 3 years, and we've gotten them credentialed to cover these really big events they were never allowed into before. So several of them totally broke out at this World Championship.
Oh, how neat, Liz. How
good.
satisfying.
I've recommended the Instagram channel Real Talk with T. Real Talk with T not only got shouted out by Michael Johnson on his Twitter, the very famous sprinter, he of the gold shoes, kept tweeting about how T's interviews were the best. And so that was getting her a lot of attention. Then the New York Times linked to her, and that got her a lot of attention. So it was just really great to see these young women doing the job in the mix zone. The athletes love to talk to them. Another young woman who was in our program, Jasmine Todd, she did this amazing interview with the American woman who, out of the blue, won the gold in the discus. Her name is Lagi. My God. So anyway.
Oh, yeah, that was a great moment. Yeah.
Oh, so great. So great. So silver medal to the young women of the mix zone who are holding their ground in a very competitive environment and getting the best stories out of the athletes. And then the gold I'm awarding to, well, I think one of the great things about track and field is that men and women are represented equally with equal prize money. And that's just always been the way.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So I'm giving the gold to the women from all over the world, from the big countries and the small ones who are in the glamour events or the really obscure events, for just winning all those medals. You expect to see stars like Sha'Carri Richardson, right? She finally delivered. That was great. Gabby Thomas. The women of Jamaica. Remember last year we talked to Sonia Richards-Ross about the women of Jamaica, but Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, who they call Mommy Rocket. Like, they're amazing. But then you see these lesser-known women, like I mentioned Lagi Tasaga Collins in the discus, but like Winfred Yavi of Bahrain won a gold medal in the women's steeplechase. Well, no one from Bahrain has ever done that before.
That was an amazing race. And they were fast. She almost broke a world record.
Yes, super fast.
Yeah.
And then there was this Fatima Gardadi. She's the first Moroccan woman ever to win a medal in the marathon. And then one of my favorites, Ukraine, Yaroslava Vukucic, won in the high jump. And so imagine being a Ukrainian athlete, what she's been through over the last 2 or 3 years. She had to flee Ukraine during the Russian invasion. She ended up in Serbia for a while, and now she lives and trains in Germany. And she won a gold medal last year, and she was back to win a gold medal again this year in the high jump. So these are just amazing individual stories of, like, as I say, from the big countries and the small countries and obscure sports and famous sports. I just love to see the women doing what they do in this kind of a competitive environment. So that's who my gold medal goes to. The women, the medal-winning women of the World Championships this year. It was really a thrill to watch you all perform. So,
Liz, that you made it sound so exciting. Thank you. That was such a good report.
It was super exciting. And if you want to watch, it's all still on Peacock. So if you get Peacock, even if you watch the broadcast from this past Sunday, they kind of recapped the whole World Champs in their Sunday show. So I highly recommend it.
Okay, good tip.
It was very fun. And of course, next year, Paris, baby. Everybody's psyched for their Olympic year. So that's my sports report.
It's true. It's true. We've started talking about it. Are we going or not?
Are we going? We don't know.
We don't know. All right. So from great news to not so great news, there was a piece in Katie Couric's newsletter this week that I enjoy getting that newsletter on a daily basis. And it was written by Diana Valenzuela. And it said, the new glass ceiling. Research proves that women face gendered ageism throughout their careers. So not great. And here's what gendered ageism is, basically. So we know what ageism is, right? We're all familiar with that. It feels like you reach a certain age, say after 50, and you're put out to pasture and you can't compete with the youngsters. Well, in the case of women, they experience ageism throughout their whole careers.
How is that possible?
How did we do that?
This is the gendered part. So young women are sort of punished because they feel too young to accept this responsibility in your 20s. And then you get to your childbearing years, say your 30s, early 40s, and you have family obligations. So the people in decision-making positions decide, you're going to be too busy to do this particular job.
Yeah, they can't quite count on you.
They can't quite count on you. And then when you actually reach in the ageism age of 50, women are sort of have a double whammy because not only are they old, they're angry. They're unpleasant because they're going through menopause, and bosses have said we just don't want to deal with them. So, like, there's
Seriously?
yes,
That's what they say.
seriously, Liz. Yes,
I don't know. Mm-mm-mm.
yeah,
Lian, it was funny that you say that because I was reading this article about a new medical procedure that allows women to delay menopause, get this, for up to 20 years. It is an IVF treatment, and 9 women have had this procedure where they remove and freeze ovarian tissue, and then when you start to go into right before menopause, they thaw it and they graft it back into your body.
oh my
And it
gosh.
Okay.
Okay, but the point is, like, maybe that's the answer. We're just going to delay menopause forever. Then we're going to have a prime work zone and we're going to rule the world. I don't know.
Okay, that should not be necessary.
Right.
No, I agree with you. I agree.
But Lian, I'm kind of saying basically there's no point where
Yeah.
our age is considered appropriate in the professional environment.
Right. It's certainly scrutinized at a higher level than men might be. And particularly, Liz, this article makes the point that it's oftentimes when the women in question aren't even in the room. It's at the hiring level. And I've heard you talk about this all the time, Liz, that, people make decisions for women like, oh, she's going to be too busy, or, oh, she's getting married next year. Like the implication is then she's going to have kids, or, oh, this or, oh, that. And the women are not even in the room to
Dispute
fight
that,
back
right.
and
Yeah,
dispute it.
that's-
So
I have definitely seen that happen and had to speak up against that many times in my career, where you'll be thinking like, well, who could we transfer to the Amsterdam headquarters to run blah, blah, blah? And somebody will mention a woman's name, and then somebody else will say, but she has little kids. And then they just try to move on to the next name on the list. I'm like, stop right there. I think if we're interested in whether she wants that job, we should ask her. I don't think we're the people in the room that get to decide like what her level of family obligation is and whether or not she wants to take a fantastic job. And
Right.
I think that, and it happens just really fast and really casually in those conversations. So it's not, you really have to pay attention how many people are just being put aside because somebody in the room says too much for them at this point, at their life stage.
And
Yeah.
isn't that what the article said, that you have to speak up in these small moments? Like,
Yes.
that this is when you need to take a stand, because a lot of time you're like, oh, well, is it worth it to say something, or let's just let it pass, or no, this is when you really, it is these small, one-off conversations that create this whole environment of discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was interesting, Julie. The researchers found that jokes about ageism have been really normalized. So like, oh, millennials versus Gen Z versus boomers versus this, like, it's just something that we accept. And sometimes we're our own worst enemy, right? Because sometimes women are like, I don't know the tech. I can't take that job. It's over my head. Or young women are like, I don't have the experience to do that. So I'll pass and I'll get more experience, where that is not really a case for young men. They would kind of jump in. And older men would just assume they could figure out the tech. So, but yeah, I mean, that ageism is very normalized. It's very normalized.
Yeah, or there are phrases that get used in the workplace now, like, we need a digital native, which is just code for we need someone under 30. But you're not allowed to say we need someone under 30. But if
Or
you
when
say,
you're older, they say, well, they don't have much runway left. Have you heard that expression?
no, that's awful.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have much runway left. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well,
Well, the expert advice in this piece is this: don't count yourself out. If someone is offering you an opportunity, you're ready. So there you go.
I agree with that. Yes,
Yeah.
that's good advice.
Okay. Are you ready to talk about mushrooms?
Yes,
It's
Jill.
Tuesday. We have some trends. We have to get started. Mushrooms are having a moment. Did you know this? I mean, it's definitely big. Fungi is trending. Okay. And we're not talking about hallucinogenic mushrooms. I mean, we're talking about everything associated with mushrooms. Do you know that you can, in both California and Oregon, you can go on a foraging experience? You can have a mushroom centered vacation where you would Think about that, where you would combine foraging and then eating mushrooms and wine pairing. Does that sound good to you?
I
Sounds
like
good,
to
except for the
forage.
foraging part.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
like
going to
to-
do foraging.
No,
I
I like
just
to forage in the grocery store. Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't trust
Okay.
myself. Can't some mushrooms kill you? I would like
Yes.
experts to be doing all the
Yes.
foraging.
Yes. Okay. Okay. But they have mushroom festivals, mushroom fairs. And now, you can order specialty mushroom packs, even if you don't see it in your local grocery store. Mushroom motifs for your home. Yes. Think about the mushroom color to paint your walls, and then the print of a mushroom. They also have tables and chairs that look like mushrooms that have mushroom patterns on it. Liz, I want to know if you've had a mushroom latte. That would be a chagachino.
Yeah. No, but I have seen those. I have seen those. And I'm like,
Really?
Oh, that's
yes,
about it.
yes. Oh,
Well, I thought that was made up. I really didn't.
No.
But of course, you live in Santa Monica, so of course,
mushroom coffee. Yeah.
Yeah,
I always look at that and like moments like this, I think, is there like a mushroom information center that is all of a sudden like conducting the marketing for mushrooms? Like, is this the kale people, Lian? Taking over mushrooms? Anyway,
Yeah, mushroom infused chocolate. Lian, you're a great cook. Have you upped your mushroom use?
I do use a lot of mushrooms because I use it as a meat substitute because I don't eat a lot of red meat anymore. But I am still terrified by mushrooms that are slightly out of the ordinary. Like if I see a mushroom specialty pack at a farmer's market, I'm like, I can't handle that. That's too much mushroom for me. I can't handle it. I don't know what to do with it.
We have a lot of mushroom phobia, apparently.
mushroom anxiety.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, because a lot of people, another reason why they're feeling close to mushrooms is, with a lot of climate change, climate uncertainty, they feel like, fungi that just grows out of trash and just turns into, a food source is going to be really, really important. So it's very elemental.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's depressing.
Okay. All right.
Okay, would you rather go back to the chagachinos, Lian?
Yes.
We'll end on that. Or chocolate or lattes. But toss a few mushrooms into your sauce. But and if you forage, we'd like to hear about that. Because we don't know.
I'm sure we have people who forage. I would like to hear about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that. But Liz, this was a very hot summer trend, and I immediately thought of you. Because I don't really think it's a real thing, but I just love the expression, and that is lazy girl jobs. Have you heard this?
I've heard the expression, but I'm not sure I understand what the definition
Okay,
is.
it's a viral term, Liz, and it
Yes.
refers to well-paying, flexible jobs that allow for leisure time. It is so that workers are just sort of fed up with the notion that they have to be available 100% of the time, 24/7. Okay, they don't want to do that. They want a lazy girl job. They wanted to make some money, okay, but they're interested in work-life balance. And somebody put that term on TikTok, and it just blew up. It took over, and now everybody's looking for lazy girl jobs.
So what is a lazy girl job, though? I understand like work-life balance and not being available 24/7, but how lazy is lazy, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Well, see, this is the thing, Liz. You probably aren't going to be, if you're really lazy, you're probably not going to be good at a lazy girl job, because these are kind of jobs that may have flexibility about how much you go into the office or don't go into the office. Yes, you may have boundaries in terms of your time, but you still have to produce a lot in order to earn a living and to make income. So it is a misnomer, the lazy girl job. Okay.
All right.
Because you just don't believe it. Yeah, there's no such thing, right? That's what I think.
Well, I mean, job by definition is work. So some are harder than others, but this seems like a TikTok phenomenon. I accept that. We can move on.
Okay. Well, this is a fake trend alert. That would be an FTA, and it's going out to Lian. This is called modest abs. It was in the Wall Street Journal this week. Okay, 6-packs are over. Okay, no more ab cracks. Okay, no more bikini bridges. Do you know what a bikini bridge is?
I've never had one or seen one.
Oh,
No.
okay. I did not know what that was.
Exercise or
No, Liz. I looked this up. Okay, so this is my information service for the week. A bikini bridge actually refers to the upper edge of a bikini bottom that suspends over the hollow between the lower abs and the hip bones. So that.
Oh, I'm looking at the visuals now. Yes.
Yes. Okay. That
I see it.
There's no hollows.
Yeah, you have to be very, 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 very thin to sustain a bikini bridge.
Okay, but so now we know what it is. We don't have to worry about that because now it's all about modest abs. It's so taut is in, etched is out. Toned, but no drama. Okay. Think of Liz, think gentle topography. That's what you want.
Okay. All right. Well, not sure if that is within reach, but okay. I like the vibe.
Okay.
Just
Again,
fun.
I think this is a fake trend, but here is my final trend for the week, and this is a real one: luxury bus travel. Okay, have you've flown this summer? Did you have some up and down experiences traveling by air, sisters?
All the fun has gone out of traveling by air. That's for sure. Okay. I mean, when you get there, you can have fun. But yeah, I agree. And you look around in places. Well, when you're in these smaller cities in Europe, you do see a lot of very high-end coaches, as they say, the luxury buses, and you can see a lot of the region on the bus.
Okay,
so that's what people are doing. I would like to get like a rock star tour bus.
Okay, they have.
Can we do that?
The Jet, Napa Way, Red Coach, Von Lane, which operates here in Texas. They are out to prove that bus travel doesn't have to be cramped or uncomfortable. This is, you get amenities like a first class seat, you get snacks, you get drinks, you have Wi-Fi, onboard attendants. It's smooth. They even have mini suites on some of these. Okay. So you should check it out in your area. Travel by bus. It's relaxing. You don't have to go through security, and you're going to get there. But you're all calm. You don't, people aren't pushing, shoving. Things aren't happening. You're not having the outbursts that you're having on a lot of flights. So I think check out luxury bus travel or a number of lines. This is great. I think
for the same reason I've been thinking about trains, the trains that go up and down the West Coast. I'd like to try that sometime. That's okay. That looks good to me.
But you have some good buses out on the West Coast, so check it out.
Okay.
So no to mushrooms, yes to buses. I've had solid.
That's not where I thought we would turn out on this.
All right, stay with us. We have some exciting updates about the Satellite Sisters Big Fun Weekend TikTok. If you haven't gotten your tickets, now's the time, but we're posting the schedule and it's going to be a big fun weekend. Stay tuned. We're so happy to welcome a new sponsor to Satellite Sisters. It's Vivaya. We heard you. You want shoes that are comfortable to wear and incredibly stylish, that have modern technology with sustainable practices for the ultimate in eco-friendly footwear and apparel, but you want them to actually have supportive soles. Fine. Be stretchy and friendly to wide feet. Check. Machine washable. Great. Recycled materials. Yes, Vivaya has them. Liz, you're into it now. Vivaya thing.
Totally into it.
You didn't really wear flats before, but you're
no, because I just felt like they weren't supporting my feet enough. Like either under my foot or under my heel. But I ordered, what's it called? I ordered the Margot flat. It is so comfortable and so supportive. I loved it so much that I went back in and just ordered a loafer, Lian. Oh. Did you see the loafers that are so cute where they have embroidered leopards on them? But like half a leopard on the left and then the other half on the right. I don't know. You got to go to the website. Check out these designs. They're so cute. So that was the Audrey loafer with a round toe, winging its way to me right now.
Oh, Liz, the leopard. I can't wait to see that look on you.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
It's like a fancy evening slipper almost. And so, yeah. But
are you planning a lot of fancy evenings in the future? Is that?
I have evenings around the house. Every evening I'm here.
All right. Well, if you want a leopard loafer like Liz or whatever you want, head over to Vivaya. and get 15% off your purchases with the code SISTERS. Now you're saying to yourself, Lian, how do you spell Vivaya? I'm going to tell you, Vivaia, right? That's clever. Vivaia. Vivaya.com for 15% off with promo code SISTERS. Vivaya.com, 15% off with promo code SISTERS. Thanks, Vivaya. We're back, and we may have been technically on hiatus, but I think Liz, Jullie, and I, and our excellent producer, Sarah Alice, we're doing some excellent work on planning big, fun weekend activities, weren't we?
Mhm.
I
A
mean,
lot of work.
lot
We
of
got
work.
a lot done this summer. It's going to be great. It's going to be big fun. Well,
Yes.
call something big fun weekend. It better be big fun.
Yes. All right. This is our last call for tickets. We are almost sold out. We will sell out. There is a ceiling to the tickets. So this would be the week to do it because we are going to close ticket sales pretty soon. So in the next 10 days or so. So just to let you know, like, we're almost sold out. If you want to come to our weekend in Minneapolis, October 13th through the 15th, now is the time. You can find all the information you need at satellitesisters.com. We will be posting the schedule for the weekend just as this podcast is posted on the internet. See, we're even coordinating things now, thanks to our producer, Sarah Alice. So we have a Friday night event where we will be getting together, walking distance from the hotel. I think of it as the world's shortest pub crawl, you guys, because it's just one pub and it's 1 block from the hotel.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Great British
But
pub.
Lian, this is, the thing about the Friday night event, whether you're coming by yourself or you're bringing your friends or you are going to feel so welcome. You're going to be so excited to meet other satellite sisters. And we have a wonderful icebreaker that we're going to play. And it is the kind of activity, whether you're an extrovert or you're an introvert, it's all going to work and it's going to be fun. And there are prizes for that. And the next morning, Saturday morning, we have really a blockbuster lineup. That's what I'm going to call it now, because Lian, you're going to be doing yoga, right?
Yes.
We have yoga coming. We have a yoga instructor.
Yeah, a real instructor. I'm going to be
not
supporting
Lian.
Mary, who's a certified yoga instructor for a great class. Yeah.
Yeah. Liz, you are doing a walking tour, right? Correct?
Not a full, it's a point-to-point, Julie. We are walking to the very famous Mary Tyler Moore statue. We're going to take a group photo there, and then we are going to walk back to the hotel.
Well, I'm calling that a walking tour, Liz.
Okay, all right.
I mean, don't sell it short. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be crafting in the lobby. We're going to be talking about that, okay? We're going to have a costume parade at our Mamma Mia dance party, okay? We have fabulous costumes. We're going to be in the parade. We want you in the parade. This is a great time to think about, watch Mamma Mia again, get inspired. Please come. It's going to be so fun. We're also going to be looking for some cheerleaders for Satellite Sisters, okay? I want a pep squad, okay? You do not need to do a cow jump to be on the Satellite Sisters cheerleading team, okay? We're going to have a sign up. Those are going to be on September 19th, right, Lian? We will have a sign up for that.
Coordinated sign up for the yoga, the walking tour, the cheerleaders. That's all going to drop on September 19th. So all the signups for that. Yeah, Julie, I have to say the cheerleaders 100% your idea.
Yes, it is.
That's me passing that off to you. Yes.
It's going to be fun. I'm an old cheerleader. Okay, was a Pop Warner cheerleader in 8th grade. Okay, if you can operate a pom-pom, I would love to have you as a cheerleader. Okay, and it's going to be part of the big fun for the weekend. Okay, cheerleaders are fun, right?
They're fun, Julie. It's a fun idea. Yes, you've got a lot of fun ideas, Julie. You're cranking them out. You're on fire, Julie. You're on fire.
Okay, can we talk about the sisterhood bracelets, Lian?
Yes.
Another fabulous idea. That really was your idea, but I'm gonna take credit for it too. Explain how these are gonna work, Lian.
All right, so this is our craft. We were searching for like a group craft we could do, and I think we've said it for 23 years now. We're not crafty, so it was a stretch. And then along came Taylor Swift. And along came the friendship bracelets that everyone was making and wearing to her concerts and exchanging with all of the Taylor songs from their favorite era. And I'm like, we are just stealing Taylor Swift's idea because she seems to be doing everything right this summer. And we have created some mock Satellite Sisters bracelets for you, for us, for ourselves. We're going to be posting photos everywhere so you can see. But we want you to bring your bracelets to the event, or you can make the bracelets there. There are bracelet kits online. Julie's going to be in charge of an hour of bracelet making. Believe me, you're going to need more than an hour to make some of these bracelets. But
I'm bringing some beads too, Lian. So don't worry about that. Okay.
but we encourage you to make them at home.
Yes. Yeah.
And then use all your favorite Satellite Sisters phrases. So we've made bracelets that just say, Satellite Sisters. I have one with all of our names. I stay noisy. I have one that says root canal rage, one that just says blueberry muffins. I have one that says no follow-up questions, and one that just says toast, which I enjoy. And Julie, you've made a bunch.
I've made one. I've got a Nana Camp. I've got Urban Nana. I've got a 2 bracelet combo that says going deep, shallow topics. Okay. I love that one.
Good.
Wow,
That
that's
is-
nice.
See, there's so much inspiration. We want to see lots and lots of different kinds of bracelets. Really, no skill involved, right? Lian, if
Some
we can do it,
patience.
you can do it.
Yes. I think that's the bar. If we can do it, you can do it. And thanks to some YouTube videos that I did watch ahead of time. But anyway,
Me too. And then I got my 16-year-old granddaughter to help me too. So
there
to
you go.
tie the knots at the end. Yeah,
It's a full weekend. The event Friday night, the Saturday morning extravaganza. We have the live podcast taping happening on Saturday afternoon, the Mamma Mia dance party, and all the other. It's a trivia contest that night, the costume parade, the dancing, buffet dinner. That is Saturday night. And then Sunday morning is the goodbye coffee. So we have a lot of things going on. We would love to see you there. Again, signups at satellitesisters.com. Don't delay. Liz, and you have been busy, very busy at work as our director of merchandise.
I have made no bracelets of any kind at all because I was working on recreating the Satellite Sisters shop. So it's live, sisters. It's there. We have created a whole new shop with all new Satellite Sisters merch. So if you go to satellitesisters.com at the very top of our website, you'll see where it says shop. And you just click on that and it will take you through to all kinds of cool new stuff. A lot of it is just Satellite Sisters logos. You want a latte mug, you want a sweatshirt, you want a t-shirt, you want a bucket hat that says Satellite Sisters on it. We got you covered. If you're coming to the Big Fun Weekend, we encourage you to get some Big Fun Weekend merch. So you'll see sweatshirts and all kinds of things there that you can wear in Minneapolis. And then we're also going to have a few limited drops, as the kids would say.
Oh, Liz.
Yeah.
Liz.
Yeah. We're going to have some drops. So 2 paws up, there's going to be a drop of merch that is 2 paws up merch. Peace and sauce. It's a drop. Stay noisy. That's a drop. They're just going to be smaller collections. Urban Nana and Nana Camp. It's a drop. So if you go to satellitesisters.com, I would say you should go frequently because I've gotten it done enough that we can open it today, but it's not 100% done yet. So we will continue to add new merch to the Satellite Sisters shop throughout the whole fall. So check out what's there. I would really love to hear what you think. And I'm slowly teaching myself how to do all of this. So special shout out to the people who figured out that the shop has been live for about 10 days. I secretly just turned it on to see if anyone would find their way there and to see if it worked. So there were about 10 of you that did figure that out, that ordered some merch, and I think it's finding its way to you. So thank you for being part of my unofficial soft launch of the Satellite Sisters shop. But it's open for everyone now. I encourage you to check it out.
There's some fun stuff there, Liz. So I got my order in right away. I'm
Me too. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Entertaining sisters, Julie, you have 2 things to recommend.
Yes. I have two things that are long, and a lot of times, whether it's a long movie or a long book, you're like, I don't know if I want to do that. Right. I mean, do you ever get like that? Or maybe you don't.
Well, with a long book, I just like to listen to it as an audiobook. That's how I handle
But
it.
sometimes it's really long, Liz, like The Covenant of Water, Abraham
Right.
Casey's new book, which is
Yeah.
724 pages. That's
Wow.
even a long, yes, see what I mean? That's a long audiobook. That is a long book. But what I want to tell you about this epic saga of 3 generations set in South India is that's about love, about loss, about faith and medicine, human hardships, natural disasters. It's absolutely beautiful. It's worth it to read. Sometimes it's worth it to invest the time in either reading or listening to some of that. I mean, Goodreads says that this book, The Covenant of Water, is one of the most masterful literary novels published in recent years. So I know everybody's busy. They don't have time. Or, you should take the time to read this.
Oh, this is the Cutting for Stone guy. Okay.
Yes,
Liz.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes,
Right.
yes. So it's long, but it's good, Liz. Okay,
It's 31 hours. The
yes,
audiobook.
Liz.
You're kidding.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I know you're like
That's a
audiobooks. I
commitment.
could see it's a commitment, but it is worth it. Okay. The second
Okay.
one we want to mention is the movie Oppenheimer, which have you both seen it?
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay. And you know what people told me before I saw it? They said, it's long, Julie. It's long. All right. Okay. But this is the beautiful movie by Christopher Nolan. It's so engrossing about the development of the atomic bomb. It's just got an outstanding blockbuster cast, wouldn't you say? I mean, blockbuster.
Hey, you know what was interesting to me about the movie, Julie? I thought the whole thing was really going to be about Los Alamos and what happened there. And it's not really. Los Alamos is part of the story, but it's really the before and the after. Just a really fascinating look at the history of all of the people involved in that. I saw it was so much bigger than I expected it to be.
I went to see it with my husband, and he was so excited. He was like whispering to me in the middle of the movie. It's like wave theory, particle theory. He said the science of it was so exciting. He just thought it was excellent. But there's Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer, Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt.
He's amazing. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Tom Conti, Gary Oldman. I mean, this cast is incredible. And people say it's a long movie, but no, it's essential. I feel like the last 20 or 30 minutes is essential to the understanding of the life, because this is based on the biography. The film is based on the biography of a book called The American Prometheus, The Triumph and Tragedy of J. Robert Oppenheimer. And you need that. You need the length. Okay. So I want to encourage people to go see that movie as well.
Wow, Julie Dolan, Christopher Nolan stan. Yeah, sing it.
Yeah, I
Jill.
saw it on the big IMAX screen at the Chinese theater on Hollywood Boulevard. The only ticket I could get was 10 a.m. on a Friday, Julie.
Wow.
And so anyway, definitely worth seeing, but you gotta sort of settle in. You got to settle in.
That's what I mean. Both of these works. You have to do it, and you're going to be repaid for it, because they're both outstanding.
Right, fantastic recommendations. Thank you, Julie. That is the show for today. We appreciate you listening to us. We appreciate our sponsors supporting this show. Big thanks to our sponsors this week, and thanks to you for supporting those sponsors. That's how the show gets produced, and we appreciate it. Big thanks to Sergio Enriquez. Glad to see you. Not really. You never turn on the camera, Sergio. We never actually see you, but we understand. We understand. Yeah, we love having you on the Zoom call. Emily is our graphic designer, Emily BoyGenius. See, I faltered there with the new name. I almost went with Loudermilk, but Emily BoyGenius is our graphic designer, and she has been working OT this summer, Liz, helping you do all the merch for the shop as well.
Doing logos for the merch. Thank you, Emily.
Then, you know what, Emily, when I needed to do my phrases for my Satellite Sister bracelets, where did I go? To all of your graphics. So to remind me of what we've said over the last bunch of years.
Since we can't remember.
We can't remember anything. But I was like, oh, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, I'll put that on a bracelet. So thank you. Let's see. We're back in production now. So expect a bunch of new shows for the next 7-8 weeks. Again, reminder, TikTok, now is the time to sign up for the Satellite Sisters Big Fun Weekend. All right. We have a strange to-do list today. Julie, what's on your to-do list?
My to-do for the week is to remain on watch. As many of you know from the news, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the warlord, former chef, is allegedly confirmed dead after a plane crash in Russia. So here's my take on it. He's either dead or he's not, okay? And I say that very seriously. I think either Putin wants to send the message that he's dead or maybe he really is dead. We may never know, but I remain on watch, okay? That's my to-do.
Wow.
All right? Just think about that for the week.
Holding Vladimir Putin accountable. Good item. Okay. This is Liz. My to-do list is, I'm just going to call it Countdown to HOA HE double hockey sticks. I've had homeowners association issues in the past here in my building. Well, this is just now I see one that's about to blow. Because I came home the other day after having been away for weeks, and I see that one person, I won't name who the person is in the building, has now plugged in their electric car with a giant, long extension cord into the building's laundry room. And I'm just saying, that's not how that's supposed to work. That's just not how that's supposed to work.
No. Oh, brother.
But I also know the HOA is so dysfunctional. The idea of coming up with an actual solution to the growing number of people that will have electric cars is also going to be an issue. So it's just a countdown to HOA HE double hockey stick. That is all.
Okay. Good luck, Liz.
All right. Well, it's Labor Day weekend this Labor Day, and I intend to just extend summer a little bit longer. That's it. I'm going to fully celebrate through Labor Day. I'm going to pretend it's still summer, even though everyone's back at school and people are back at work and we're back in production. Just 3 more days of summer fun, and then we can move on to fall. How does that sound?
Okay.
Good idea,
Yeah.
Lian.
Thanks. Great. All right. We're the Satellite Sisters. Thanks for being with us today. Julie, Liz, have a great week.
You too, Lian.
And don't forget, call your satellite sister.